Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-ajala min ash-shaytan." This hadith is in Sunnah and Tirmidhi, and he said it's Hasan. And that means that haste is from the devil. And what this means is that when we do things in haste, when we don't take our time with things, we are more likely to be following the devil than we are to be in compliance with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. So what results from haste? We have this wonderful saying in English, haste makes waste, right? You try to rush something before, without taking your time, without giving it its due attention and the attention to detail that it requires, and it ends up not being good. It's almost as if it would have been better if you had not done it at all than to have done it hastily and done it poorly. And this can be for anything. This can be for cooking a meal, right? Or it could be, you might end up burning the food or something else. You have to throw it out. Or it could be for preparing a lesson or a khutbah. Or it could be for trying to rush when it comes to correcting your brother or your sister in faith. Maybe you see something and maybe you sally forth and you rush to correct them when in reality you should have taken a little bit more time and observed, and you would have had maybe at least a better strategy to approach them, if not have gotten some more information that maybe would have changed your perspective on things. And this is something that in the modern age of technology we need to be very careful because we're very susceptible to. Our attention spans have become much shorter. We're much more entitled to give our opinion about this and that and the third. Every little thing that comes along, we see somebody who puts in a lot of time and effort and is generally qualified. Maybe they make some mistakes, or maybe they slip up, and we rush to condemn them. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. This is a bit premature and a bit hasty. And I used to laugh. This isn't something that's particular to Muslims. I used to laugh when I was doing my undergrad. We were always encouraged to critique. Before you read Marx, you critique Marx, and before you read Freud, you critique Freud. And kind of that was the environment of higher education that in the places that I was studying. And it was hasty, and so it was poorly done. You have somebody who hasn't read and hasn't put in the time and hasn't mastered these sorts of things. They're 22 years old. They go and they party on the weekends, and then they come to class during the week and they're writing about how these major thinkers who spent their whole lives thinking about these certain things, well, they got it all wrong here and here and here. And that's not to say that there isn't a place for criticism, and that's not to say that some of those criticisms aren't even correct and valid, but it's the character of everything. Everything should be it should have more time taken to it. It's more likely to be accurate. It's more likely to be done with ihsan. It's more likely to be in line with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants if it is done with the requisite amount of time that it's supposed to take. And this is affirmed by another hadith, the hadith of Shaykh Abdul Qais, where the Prophet ﷺ praises him for having two qualities, and those two qualities were al-hilm wal-ana, right? And al-ana has to do with taking your time and not rushing things. So that's kind of the opposite of this hadith, that haste is from the devil.